Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. So today we have Moto Edge 50 Pro, and in this video we'll be doing a quick review about this device. By the way, it's a retail unit which we purchased from Flipkart. We'll talk about everything. There are some good things which I liked about this device, and there are few things which I did not like. And now before moving ahead guys, we have 87% of users who haven't subscribed to our channel, but they do watch our videos. So if you guys find our videos helpful to you, do consider subscribing and also press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video. So first of all, one thing which I liked about this packaging, it's completely plastic free packaging. And one thing which I did not like is the fragrance what they have added in the box. So soon you unbox your device, there's a strong fragrance, and why I'm saying I did not like it, because in my house my brother is allergic to such strong fragrance, and he was inside the studio when we unboxed the device. Later on he started sneezing. So I think Moto should consider this as a feedback. Not every individual likes the strong fragrance. Okay, so it's been almost more than 6 days I've been using this device as my primary phone, and there are some findings which I would like to discuss with you guys before starting with other aspects. And the first thing which I noticed, maximum time, like if your device is in the pocket and you get a call, if you try to take out the device from the pocket, the call gets automatically picked up, and that's due to the mistouch. See, proximity sensor, it's working fine. If you keep the device on the table and if you wave your hand over the proximity sensor, the screen turns off. But the only problem is calls gets accidentally picked up if you try to take out the device from your pocket. And the OS also lacks animation. You will see some jitters here and there. Sometimes you'll notice animations are too good, and sometimes you'll see choppy animations. Also, the padding of UI, in some areas it's not that good. So for example, if I go to system update section and if I tap on check for the update, and now you can see the padding here towards the bottom side. It's not uniform. Towards the top side, you get to see those curves, proper curves, and towards the bottom side, it has that sharp corners. So I think Motorola should work on these small things, and due to the curved edges, you might see some mistouch happening while using your device. And this has happened with me many times. Like if I'm watching a video also, mistouch did happen due to these curved edges. We also have other phones like Oneplus 12 with curved screen, but on those phones we don't get to see any kind of mistouch when it comes to curved screen. And sometimes you'll also notice slow response on the screen. For example, if you take a screenshot, most of the time with the first attempt, the preview doesn't go, so you have to swipe multiple times, and that's also jittery sometimes. You might also see lags while switching the lenses in the camera application. And in the portrait, don't know due to what reason it lags a lot. You can see on the screen, I've just selected 50mm, and you can see the camera preview how it's lagging. And the same thing goes with 35mm also. In 24mm also is the same story. They also need to optimize the camera application. We'll talk about the picture qualities in the camera segment. Other basic things like 5G, Bluetooth, everything works fine. Connectivity wise, there are no issues. I've been using my Airtel SIM card on this, and there are no issues with the 5G connectivity also. You can also check out the download and upload speed, which is quite good in my area. See, overall what I think is Moto requires to polish their OS. And if you start using this Hello UI, initially, if you're coming from a brand like OnePlus or Samsung, you'll for sure feel that you're using a custom ROM. But let's see how do they improve in future. Design is always subjective, but I personally like the design of Moto Edge 50 Pro. Its design is quite simple, nice looking phone that's thin and not heavy. Device only weighs around 186 grams. The phone is easy to hold and carry around because it's thin and light. Just due to the camera module, it wobbles more compared to other smartphones if kept on flat surface. Okay, now talking about the display and sound quality. So here I would appreciate Moto for providing such an awesome display on Moto Edge 50 Pro. And this time the display is Pantone verified display, which can produce true life colors like what you exactly see with your naked eyes. The display is 6.7 inch 1.5K POLED panel, supporting 120Hz of refresh rate and 2000 nits of peak brightness. Along with that, it also has the support of HDR10+. We did test out the device outdoor under the direct sunlight, and we had no issues at all watching or reading content. But sadly, even on Moto Edge 50 Pro, you don't get to see HDR support in apps like Netflix. Also here in the display settings, you get a flicker protection option, which prevents the screen from flickering in the dark environments. It's something like what we have seen in past with OnePlus smartphones. There was a feature called DC dimming, and it works similarly. The phone has really good speakers with Dolby Atmos, and the sound is clear, loud, and feels like it's coming from all around you, especially with the movies or games made for Dolby Atmos. Also, we get the support of special audio feature on this device. The screen is great for watching videos and playing games because it shows very bright and clear colors, supporting HDR10+ for even better colors. But like Nord CE4, even this device has a problem playing 4K HDR video on YouTube. Once you start watching 4K HDR videos on YouTube, you'll notice some frame drops and the video won't be that smooth. But soon you switch to 2K, video is back to normal and plays super smooth. So keep this thing in mind. And I'm not sure whether this thing can be fixed with the software update or not. Also, Moto Edge 50 Pro can easily run most of the apps in 144Hz like Twitter, Instagram, and trust me guys, they feel buttery smooth. So in terms of display and sound, Moto have nailed, and other brands should bring such good quality displays in this price segment. It would have been more better if they would have added the HDR support in apps like Netflix. Now talking about the battery, so battery isn't that huge on this device. We get 4500 mAh of battery, supporting 125 watt of fast charging and 50 watt of wireless charging. And by default 125 watt doesn't work. You need to enable this charge boost feature from the battery section. Then your device will have full potential to charge with 125 watt charger. And charging time takes around 19 to 20 minutes to fully charge from 0 to 100 if you have 125 watt fast charger. And as I said initially, the base variant which we have, this doesn't come with 125 watt charger inside the box. We get to see 68 watt charger. But both the variants do support 125 watt charging. Now let's talk about the battery backup or the screen on time. So see, I have been using this device from past few days and I would say battery backup isn't that good. Moto needs to optimize that thing. And another thing along with the battery backup, they also need to fix the battery graph and the screen on time. So here if you see, it shows 3 hours and 38 minutes of screen on time. But I personally know it was somewhere around 4.5 hours to 5 hours. So this issue I have noticed, and about the battery backup, I'm getting somewhere around 4.5 hours to 5.5 hours of screen on time. If you consider the battery capacity, it's decent battery backup, but it can be improved by optimizing the software. Another thing which I liked about this device, and that's the haptic feedback. Along with that, Moto have tried to implement the haptic feedback, what we have seen in other smartphones. Like when you move the recent page, you can feel that vibration. Same thing even Moto have done, and I personally like the implementation, what they're trying to do in the entire UI. Though it's not been added in brightness slider and volume sliders, but whatever implementation they have done it pretty well. As said, the haptic feedback is quite good on this phone. It's not that strong, but it's crisp, which is enough to provide you the premium feel. Now let's talk about the performance part of this device. So as a daily user, did not face any major difficulties in the normal task. By the way, device comes with Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 processor, having support of 8 and 12 GB LPDDR4X RAM and UFS 2.2. But here I've seen some claims that it's optimized to perform very close to UFS 3.1. So we did perform the storage test, and side by side we compared it with Nord CE4. There isn't much of difference in the scores, but if you see sequential read and write speed, that is higher on Oneplus Nord CE4. But if you see random access scores, which are higher on Moto Edge 50 Pro, along with the higher read speed. And talking about the benchmark results, in Geekbench application, single core scores are 1143 and multi-core scores are 3094. In Antutu, device do scores above 8 lakh. We also performed the wildlife extreme stress test. In that, stability scores were 87.4%. The battery drain, what we noticed, was around 7%, and the device did not heat up much. So this is a good thing which I have been seeing on this device. This device doesn't heat up a lot. Only you will see slight heating when you do gaming. And in my testing, I did not see this device going above 40 degrees Celsius. So in terms of gaming, we tested 2 games. One is Battlegrounds Mobile India, which is obvious, and the second one is COD Mobile. Talking about Battleground Mobile India, and nowadays I don't know how brands are providing such good gyroscope. I do gaming with gyroscope and 4 fingers. The gyroscope performance is super smooth and it's completely reliable. I did not even see much of frame drops. The device did perform pretty well. Almost all the time the FPS was between 50 to 55. Though we only played TDMs, we did not play full matches. For full matches, we'll do a dedicated video on our Hindi channel. And as said, device did not lag at all while playing TDMs. I played a lot of TDMs. In BGMI, average FPS was around 57 frames per second, and maximum temperature, what we noticed while playing TDMs, it hardly went above 37 degrees Celsius. And the performance was also quite good in COD Mobile. Device did deliver pretty good FPS every time above 50. And finally, when we checked out the stats, in that average FPS was around 52 frames per second. And if you see, in between, device temperature did rise, but after some time, device started to cool down. The maximum temperature, what we noticed, was around 37 degrees Celsius while playing COD. So in terms of performance also, they have done a good job, but UFS 2.2, instead of that, we would have got UFS 3.1. And the reason why I'm saying is, initially I spoke about jitters and lags and the choppy animations. UFS 2.2 might be the reason. Delay in app opening, lags in the camera application, and general stutters. So if it was 3.1, it would have been a great deal. Now let's talk about the software part. So this device comes out of the box with Android 14 and you'll get 3 years of major OS upgrade with 4 years of security patch updates. As I said initially, that OS might give you a feel of custom ROMs because device comes with a new OS which is called as Hello UI, and it still needs more polish, some jitters, mistouch, all these things you guys might experience. Hoping Moto to roll out updates faster and improve the overall experience. And another good thing is Hello UI is very close to stock Android. And the best part is it's packed with tons of features, and there are few features which blew my mind while using this device. I'll cover some important features right now, but a dedicated video just to talk about those features will be coming soon on this channel. You have the support of edge lighting, so whenever you get any notification or calls, you will see that light on all the edges. You can customize the light, you can make changes in the colors, and you also have some light options which can be controlled from here. And as it's a new software, I would like to appreciate Moto for providing a guide if you want to use any feature. As you can see, I searched for edge light, and towards the bottom side, you have an option to learn more. Tapping on it, it will give you a tour how this functionality works. And it's not only for limited customization. You open any setting, you will find how things works or how you can play around with that particular setting. And another example which you can see, which is layered to Dolby Atmos. So you'll find every guide for every feature present on this device. A huge respect for Moto. And now talking about those interesting features which I personally liked on Moto Edge 50 Pro. So one of them is layered to AI, and that's the option to generate wallpapers depending on the outfit you are wearing. So let me show you how does it work. So if you go to wallpaper section, there's a tab called Made with AI. So here you can see there's an option of style sync. Tapping on it, either you can capture a photo and then generate a wallpaper, or else you can select a photo from the gallery application. For example, I'll select a photo in front of you guys. So this is the photo which I'll select, and now you can see AI is working on it and it will generate few wallpapers depending on the outfit which I'm wearing. It takes somewhere around 10 to 12 seconds to generate the wallpaper, but here you can see there are few wallpapers generated by AI depending on the color or outfit which I was wearing. And this is one of my favorite. So here you can see my device which is connected with my PC. Later on you need an application on your PC which is called Ready for Assistant. After that you can pair your device either wirelessly or use a cable. And there are a lot of features which you can use. You can see how many features are there. You can do app streaming, like open the applications directly on the PC itself. For example, if I launch BGMI, I just have to accept the connection on my Moto Edge 50 Pro. Once done, now that app will be opened on my PC. And I can also use it on the full screen mode. So this is how app streaming works. And if we go back, there's another option called mobile desktop. And now you can see we have mobile desktop on our PC. It's something similar to Samsung Desk, and brands should implement such things. You can use the applications which are available, and if few applications are not there, you can open the Google Play Store and download other applications too. A very good implementation by Moto, and a huge respect for encouraging such features on a mobile. There are also options by which you can use your device camera as a webcam. You can transfer the files. You also have the cross control feature and a smart clipboard. And smart clipboard is quite useful if I am copying any image on the device, I mean the PC. I get a pop-up on my phone also. And this is also another useful feature which is called cross control. I'll show you how does it work. So here you can see if I start cross control, you can rearrange your display. I right now have two displays already connected, and the third one display is of Moto Edge 50 Pro, which I'll place it on the left side. And now if I move the scroller towards the left hand side, you can see now scroller popped up on my Moto Edge 50 Pro. So if I'm using the PC, I don't have to touch the device. I can just use the same mouse or keyboard to control my device also. How many of you guys think such features should come on other smartphones also? Let us know in the comment section below. We also have the support of gestures, in which you can use gestures like double tapping on the back side. And also another thing on this device, you can choose between the classic quick setting tiles or the modern one. If you tap on the modern, it will look something like this, and if you choose the classic one, that will look or give you a feel of stock Android. as you can see here. Brands should learn from Moto on how to add unique features on smartphones. See, animations are good as I spoke about them initially. They do stutters or lag sometime. Also, the RAM management isn't that good and it's more than 6 days I've got this phone, but still there is no sign of any OTA update to fix their new OS or UI. Moto in past had a bad record of OTA rollout and still they are doing the same thing. If you look for regular software updates on your device, then I will not recommend this phone. I've used a lot of brands. 90% of the brand releases OTA update soon after or even before the first batch sale starts. You take an example of Nothing phones. It's almost 40-50 days since Nothing Phone 2A have been released and we have almost got 3 to 4 OTA updates to improve the overall stability of the device, camera and performance. So that's how a brand should work. But let's see how Moto deals with software updates for this device. And now let's talk about the camera performance. First of all, it has triple setup on the back, which consists of 50 megapixel primary lens, 13 megapixel ultra wide, which is also used for macro shots, and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, which lets you zoom up to 30x. We also have 50 megapixel selfie camera. And now before talking about the picture quality, first let's talk about the problems which I have faced with the camera application. So right now the camera application is not for those users who just take out the phone to click some quick pictures. It's laggy and stutters a lot. You'll also see the lag on the screen when you open the camera application. Shutter speed is also very bad, and even in good lighting condition, whenever, for example, if I'm going out, I had to make a payment, the device also struggles to scan the QR code or open the camera application. Not the camera application, but access to camera. There also I've seen device struggling a lot. It shows how much they have optimized the camera application. In my experience, the camera app usage experience is too bad, guys. But when we talk about the picture quality, Moto Edge 50 Pro actually produces some good images. Primary lens produces some great pictures with plenty of details with no doubt. One thing which I noticed is HDR control is too good on Moto Edge 50 Pro. Most of the time, colors are accurate in terms of skin tones with primary lens. Skin tones are very close to natural. But two things which I would like to mention when it comes to the colors. The blue in the photos you can consider sky or the t-shirt color. The color grading is actually bad. Though they are social media ready photos, but that's not how the sky color looks. Moto Edge 50 Pro makes it more towards that dark blue instead of keeping the color natural. Second issue is the halo effect, which I found in many of the photos, and one of the examples you can see on the screen. Color consistency is quite good between ultra wide and primary lens, but ultra wide do lack some details. Also, you can click photos up to 30x digital zoom and 10x optical zoom. But one thing which I noticed was the color signs between 1x and 3x, which is not that good. However, 3x telephoto does produce good images, and images can be useful up to 10x, but 30x they are not at all usable. In terms of edge detection, 90% of the time you will find proper edge detection, but that 10% there are always chances of having issues with the edge detection. We have different focal lengths here, 24mm, 34mm, 50mm and 85mm, and the images are quite usable with pretty good colors. In artificial lighting also, pictures turns out to be good with quite good details. Selfies are also good, did not see that skin smoothing, colors are accurate with good details, great dynamic range, and also against the sunlight, photos are very good. In low light, or you can say night mode, pictures actually turned out to be good with no noise and great details, but the only problem we noticed was related to that halo effect when you directly take pictures of the light source. Other than that, photos are really good. Video quality, you guys can judge yourself. Front camera is capable of recording 4K at 30 fps video. And in video recording, I would say front camera produces skin colors close to natural, and the stabilization is also good. But when we move from direct sunlight to shady areas, you will see the device struggling in dynamic range. They need to fix the HDR and dynamic range while recording the videos using front camera. Rear camera is also capable of recording 4K at 30 fps videos, and I actually like the video output from Moto Edge 50 Pro. Sometimes you'll see stutters, and also a little bit of improvements are required when it comes to stabilization. Color output and details are on spot. You can also switch lenses while recording videos using the rear camera. Talking about other features, so this device comes with 15 5G bands, dual 4G VoLTE, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC, and also we have the support of IP68 rating. So you can take some underwater shots and your device won't have any kind of issues. And now coming on to the conclusion. So in terms of design, it's a great design from Moto, and the in-hand feel is also quite good. The design is eye-catchy and it stands out in the crowd. See, when it comes to camera, as I mentioned, that color grading is not that good in some scenarios, like when it comes to blue color. But some users might like it. I personally did not like when that light blue color processed to that dark blue color. I know it's eye-catchy, but it doesn't feel natural at all. Overall camera is really good. But the main problem which I mentioned to you guys, and that was related to the lags in the camera application, stutters, slow processing speed. So if you prefer that you want a device which just take out from the pocket and you click pictures, so right now the camera application is not that optimized to click images faster. So keep this thing in mind before buying this device. See, this thing can be improved with the software update, but right now it's not yet optimized. So now talking about the performance part, basically this is not a performance centric phone. You can do casual gaming. We did play BGMI and Call of Duty. We were able to play TDMs and even full matches. You won't see much of frame drops, but not for competitive level gaming. Yes, for casual gaming you can consider this device. And also plus point which I have noticed in my usage, I've seen some users complaining that device heats up, but till now this device haven't heated up much in my usage. And another thing which you guys need to consider before buying this device, and that's the software support. We have seen in past Moto is quite bad in rolling out software updates, and which we have already seen on this device. It's almost 6 days plus now, still there is not even a sign of single OTA update. It's a very new UI. Moto should consider this thing. They should release the OTA updates faster to make user experience better. But in terms of features, it's a pretty good OS. You also get the close to stock experience. But if I'm planning to buy a device, I'll make sure that device have a good OTA support or the software support. But what do you guys have to say about this device? Let us know in the comment section below. So guys, this was the detailed review of Moto Edge 50 Pro. I hope you guys gonna like the video. If you like the video, then do give us a thumbs up. And also if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.